Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video of the 100 Days to CLAT series. This is day 31 away from the CLAT exam, and this is basically a 100 video series wherein I would be sharing with you guys my journey till the exam of CLAT. And in this video, based on all your requests, I have made a dedicated focus session on CR and AR. So I would be covering various aspects of CR and AR. I would be giving you guys a checklist. ये checklist जैसा ही रहेगा. So from wherever you are finding a bit of difficulty, you guys can just refer to that checklist, and if you have completed that checklist, you will be most probably good to go for your CLAT. And see, this is how I've designed this video, so stay till the end. And there are a few requests which I want to make prior to me starting the video, and that is to see the full video. I've put in a lot of effort, so that won't be utilized by you if you won't see it full. And just write it down, man. Many people out there just listen to it, but listening does not help. जो भी पॉइंट आपको इम्पोर्टेंट दिख रहा है, just write it down, because I too thought कि just सुनने से ही हो जाएगा, but वो नहीं होता है. And help us help others. So till now I've never asked you guys to like, share, subscribe, anything like that, because that is the thing which doesn't matter to me. But now that I have put in some effort, I would want others to also get benefit from it. So do make sure to improve all the metrics which are useful for us. There's something called hype also in the comment section. You can do that, so it will help us reach out more people and help them as well. So because your rank is not contingent upon other people's score or preparation, it is contingent upon your luck and preparation. So don't be selfish on that. And the audio quality might not be the best, and I'm recording this in just one take, so थोड़े pauses होंगे, so just pardon me for that. And without any ado, let us start the video, but let us quickly discuss the task and the hours clocked in. So I did the logical reasoning one-liners, assumption-based questions, as that is the thing which I faced mistakes, a lot of problems in, and a A-led section. This was mostly the AR part. And then I did 15 minutes of only vocabulary revision. Then I did 2 hours 30 minutes of analyzing the previous mocks, and I would also discuss how do I reanalyze those mocks in this video. And then quants concepts, I didn't do the video, only the concepts for 30 minutes. Then I gave a GK test, assumption, videos, traps, sare discuss. I mean, I've learned a lot of traps and assumptions, and a few observations as well. And CLAT Express January 1 hour 15 minutes, clocked in around 7 hours 45 minutes. It was more of a productive day. I might not have clocked in a lot of time, but it was more or less a productive day. So these are the vocabulary words which I got from the previous mock, so you guys can take a look of it. Now see, in certain areas where I feel कि few things, if you are a beginner, if you are starting now, just do this, that would be enough. But if you are at a better rate और आप काफ़ी टाइम से प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, then do the red part, the thing which I write in the red color का, do that. So we have divided this into two parts, the AR and the CR. So what I would do is I would discuss the first, let us first discuss this thing from what are the concepts one needs to cover. अब सारे videos में I would not say what are the exact concepts of it, but AR needs a specific concept list, because काफ़ी ज़्यादा concepts है AR में, and only a few are relevant for the CLAT. The first and the foremost, the most important concept would be the seating arrangement, as this is the thing which have come for the last year as well. And the second is puzzles. So what does this puzzles means is, you might have seen in the mock tests जहाँ पर it says कि there are 6 days in a week, and one day one person is working, A will not work on Monday, B will not work on this day. So that all things are come under the puzzle category. So those are the only two most important wala concepts which CLAT might ask, in my opinion. And all the other concepts of the mock questions, or अगर आप कोई भी mock दे रहे हो, if you find any other concept as well in that, so do make sure to cover that, because they have a good research team and they are including the concepts which are the most probable ones to come in the CLAT. So do also cover that. And the fourth one is then follow it with ALET AR. After you are done with all these things, you can follow it with ALET AR, because we never know what CLAT is going to ask this year. They might ask us the silogs as well. It is a possibility, because if you were to ask any person last year is AR relevant, they would have said कि ये तो नहीं आएगा, but it came in the 2025, so we never know, आ सकता है. So even after do the ALET AR only after you have done all the other things. So I've written this as 1 2 3 4. This is the priority order which one needs to follow. And then from where shall one practice? The first and foremost source shall be your mocks. Mocks में there, if you are following legal age mocks, you might be aware they ask it from varying difficulty level. So easy questions भी cover हो जाते हैं, hard questions भी cover हो जाते हैं. So do that. And the next thing is the coaching material or the YouTube videos. Coaching material, if you have it, you can do it, or else it isn't very necessary. YouTube videos पे you could see a lot of CLAT coachings have released a few videos on the analytical reasoning. You can refer to that, because sometimes when you see others solving, you improve a lot than you solving it, because you get a different perspective of it. The next thing is for high level practice, do the SSC serial. This is only for the advanced people. If you are beginning, don't do this. Why I say to do this for the high level people, I mean, no, I mean, what I mean by high level is someone who is preparing for a lot of time and who has done all this other things already. Only those people should do the fourth aspect. What, how does this help is, if you have given the legal age mock, what was the last one? It was 42, right? Yes, 42. In that, the second AR set, a lot of people found it difficult to do, but because I've done this high level ka SSC, CGL, bank, PO ka seating arrangement questions, a lot of questions from there, I was able to crack that in quite a good time, I would say. 10 ही मिनट में हो गया था मेरा वो, because I have solved that type of question prior to this in these types of videos. So अगर कोई high level question भी आ जाएगा, so even then you would be able to crack it. So that is a pro tip, I would say. Then the common questions which people have, attempt strategy, when shall one attempt their AR. So what I do is I do my logical reasoning second and I attempt AR first. This is how my plan goes. I do logical second and attempt AR first, because what I feel is AR में you never know how much time will it take, and जितना भी time लगेगा आपको दे देना पड़ेगा उसके. So because of that, अगर let's say if I attempt AR and I have spent around 10 minutes, which I shouldn't ideally do, but now I know मेरे 10 मिनट चले गए हैं, so now I need to speed up in the other aspects of this CR questions. So let's say I spend around 20 minutes for the CR. So 30 minutes में section हो जाएगा. But now if you assume, now if a situation comes कि मैं पहले CR कर रहा हूँ and I'm doing it for 25 minutes and then I'm going for the AR, then फिर भी वो 10 ही मिनट लगेंगे. So then it would take you 35 minutes. So you might not able to afford that in the CLAT exam. So do it this way. That is how I attempt AR, and I hope you too. And how to attempt and when to leave. When to attempt and when to leave. ये दो तो सेम ही है. Okay. When to attempt and when to leave. See, the reason why I wrote this is because if you see CLAT 2025, that AR was just a nightmare for people like me, because मेरे से AR वो नहीं बना था, and I've done that 2 to 3 times in the CLAT exam only, and I spent around 10 से 15 minutes. I've wasted 10 to 15 minutes, but फिर भी नहीं बन रहा था, and this thing has led to the downfall in the entire paper. उसके बाद से I never recovered, because you know when you are leaving 6 questions in your CLAT exam, you possibly cannot expect to get into the top colleges which you want. So that was really demoralizing at that point of time. So from that perspective, I have included this question: when to attempt and when to leave. Even the legal age people, if you see, sometimes they keep the analytical reasoning so hard it takes you around 10 to 15 minutes just to solve it. So how I do is, when I attempt is, I first open the AR section. I see how many variables are there in that. If there are many variables, then I choose to attempt it at the last of CR section if there are many variables. If I have attempted it twice और मेरा टेबल भी नहीं बन रहा है, leave. It is okay to leave. Just assume that this is a wrong question which they have given and just leave it. You won't regret by leaving it. Do the table twice. अगर आप टेबल इन द सेंस द सीटिंग अरेंजमेंट है, अगर आपका वो भी नहीं बन रहा है इवन आफ्टर द सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट, जस्ट सिंपली लीव इट. इट इज़ंट वर्थ द हैसल. और भूल जाने की कोशिश कीजिए एंड जस्ट थिंक कि दिस इज़ अ रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन. दिस स्ट्रैटेजी हैज़ वर्कड फॉर मी वेर आई थिंक कि दिस इज़ अ रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन. अब बिकॉज मैं रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन सोच रहा हूँ, दैट डजंट डीमोरलाइजेस मी एज मच एज कि ये सोचने से कि मेरा गलत जा रहा है, आई एम जस्ट लीविंग 6 क्वेश्चन स्ट्रेट अप. So that is how you have to leave away it. And how much time for preparation and how much time in the mock. How much time for preparation, AR shall be your last priority because it is a concept वो आ भी सकता है, नहीं भी आ सकता है, और आएगा भी तो most probably it would come for 6 marks. So rather focus on the other aspects. If you are the beginner person, keep AR at your last thing for preparing. बट इफ़ यू आर समवन हु इज़ प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर क्वाइट अ फ्यू टाइम और दूसरे सेक्शंस में उतना ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं होता है, देन AR इज़ समथिंग विच यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर. हाउ मच यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर? प्रॉबली 2 times a week would be enough from now on. So 2 times a week would probably mean आपके 4 से 5 बार तो हो ही जाएगा prior to your CLAT. So I would say that is enough for your preparation. And how much time in a mock? So what I do is 5 minutes, 2 attempts, no leave. So what this means is I'll spend 5 minutes or I'll do 2 attempts. अगर इस टाइम में if I'm not able to create that table, I'll simply leave it. अगर वो बन रहा है टेबल 5 minutes में, then it is okay to spend 1-2 minutes extra because questions में उतना कुछ भी difficult नहीं होता है वो. So on and all, the ideal time to spend for AR is somewhere from 7 minutes to 7 minutes ही बोलूँगा, I wouldn't say more. 7 minutes ही मान के चलिए because you have to do a lot of other sections as well. अगर आपका CR में speed ज़्यादा है then you can spend more time, so you have to basically improvise in the exam itself. Unable to attempt in mock, so this is again a problem. You are not able to attempt in the mock. आप कितना भी practice कर रहे हो but mock का AR आपसे नहीं बन रहा है, so do this one thing. This would only be one of time कि आप AR में you spend 15 to 20 minutes. Again this is very radical सा advice. So the reason why I'm saying 15 to 20 minutes spend करो is because अगर आपका सारे sections are on track, if you are scoring good in those sections, अगर आप इस पे 15 से 20 मिनट एक ही मॉक के लिए दीजिए, एक या मोस्ट प्रोबेबली 2 मॉक्स, दैट्स इट. तो इससे क्या होगा, इफ़ यू आर एबल टू अटेम्प्ट इट देयर, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस विल बूस्ट. So एक बार when you attempt it in the mock, a lot of people face this problem even in the quants. So I say that same thing in the for them as well. कि spend a lot of time, just attempt it once. So next time say this confidence will carry on, and your attempts will automatically increase. Yes, that is what I have to say on the unable to attempt wala thing. Just give a lot of time and attempt it only once at any mock, and it will help you. Then I feel AR का सारा कुछ हो ही गया है. If at all there is anything left, you guys are free to comment. I will try to resolve there. CR में what one needs to do is revise concepts from the source. So what does this source means is, source is the thing from where you have studied the concepts. आप जो भी lecturers के videos से देखे हो, जहाँ से भी आप पढ़े हो, रिवाइज दोज कॉन्सेप्ट्स फ्रॉम देयर इटसेल्फ. अगर आपने नोट्स बनाए हैं CR के, रिवाइज इट फ्रॉम देयर इटसेल्फ. देयर इज़ नो नीड टू व्यू अदर पीपल्स वीडियो फॉर CR का रिविजन because it won't be that productive for you. You would just get confused in it. So revise it only from your source. Then second thing is, from where shall one practice? One shall practice the CR. The first and the most best way to practice CR is the mocks. What I have seen is RSMs, let it be RSMs or the coaching materials, unme the CR's level isn't that great, so it is bad level of CR in the coaching materials. But mocks में the CR difficulty is good. It is most similar to CLAT. So अगर आपके पास sources नहीं है to attempt the CR के questions, you could always go on Telegram, pick some old mocks और उसे पढ़ लीजिए आप, उसे ही solve कर लीजिए. That would be good. YT videos, again, YT videos is just a supplement. It should not be a primary source. Again, the reason why I say YouTube videos is because अब देखिए YouTube videos आप किसके भी देख सकते हो. There isn't any specific one. As long as the video is very long, it would be good. Simply, that is the fundamental metric which I use to sort which video to watch. So YouTube videos, how it helps is to get the perspective how the faculty is solving and how you are solving. So उससे क्या होता है, you get that mindset shift, and that mindset shift is a lot more important for you to get away from those stuck areas. And the other thing is simply the material, and this is basically like a pro tip kind of thing. Guide to GMAT, I would most probably send it to the Telegram channel if you guys want. So Guide to GMAT is a book जहाँ पर the CR questions are like 5-star questions, I would say. I haven't seen CR questions as good as the questions which have been asked in the Guide to GMAT. This thing has helped me a lot. There are like 120 questions I guess in that, और उससे ज़्यादा ही है शायद. So those questions are just phenomenal. उसका explanation, reasoning, everything is just phenomenal. अगर आप if you even do the guide to GMAT, अगर आपके जो concept errors हो रहे हैं, that would improve a lot. And there's a lot of variety of questions as well. Strengthening, weakening के हो गए, assumptions के हो गए. But there are only the one-liner questions in here. I mean the para-based questions, not the paragraph के बाद 5 questions, वैसे वाले नहीं है. One para, one question. So it is just too excellent of a thing. And again, do this only after you have done all the other things which I have discussed. So it is a pro tip kind of thing. So I would send it to you on the Telegram channel. And another, this is more or less like a question. Doing the marathons, now what will happen is all the coaching institutes will launch their marathons कि do this for CR 8 hours class, सारे concepts A to Z हो जाएंगे, ये हो जाएंगे, वो हो जाएंगे. But you are simply wasting your time by watching the marathons. In my opinion, this is what I feel. The only marathons which are worth watching would probably be your GK marathons, and उसको छोड़ दे के I don't think there is anything worth watching. Maybe अगर आप completely beginner वाले stage में हो, आप 10-15 दिन से ही prepare कर रहे हो, then maybe आप you can watch that. But I would not recommend you to watch it live, because live में it takes you 8 hours. वही अगर आप recorded देखोगे, 2x देखोगे, it would take you 4 hours, and you can skip a lot of fluff in between as well. So वो 3 hours में ही हो जाएगा. So don't fall for that trap of marathons. Do this and you will be good to go. वैसे वाले सारे claims आएंगे, but there is nothing enough for CLAT preparation. Reanalyzation of old mocks, how? Okay, so if you are struggling with analyzing of your mocks, I have created a video for that as well. You guys can find it somewhere on my channel. So do watch that for mock analysis ka strategy. That same strategy applies here for this thing as well. For the reanalyzation of old mocks, you get the most out of your mock, most output out of your mock only when you reanalyze. Because अगर आप जब reanalyze कर रहे हो and if you see the questions, a lot of times you remember those questions, a lot of time you don't remember those questions. So अगर आपके वो questions जब सही हो रहे हैं, that means you have improved yourself. That would give you confidence, that would give you better reasoning, that would improve your intuition, which I would discuss at the थोड़े टाइम के बाद intuition के बारे में भी. So reanalyzing your old mocks is a key advice, and a lot of people will sleep on this. What I mean by sleep is they won't do the reanalyzation of mocks because they just feel कि एक बार कर लिया analyze, what is the need of doing it again. But trust me, reanalyzing of mock is a lot more helpful than what people think, or that is the most underrated tip I would say. So where shall one do the miscellaneous topics? See, miscellaneous topics आपको तभी करना है जब आपके core topics are strong. What are core topics? Assumptions, inference, conclusion, main idea, strengthening, weakening. These are the core topics. अगर आपका ये strong हो गया है, only then come to the miscellaneous topics. So what one have to do is, see, I've written a few miscellaneous topics. There are others as well. You can also add it to it here. So paradox, flaw in reasoning, parallel reasoning. So the miscellaneous topics are the most trickiest topics. मेरे से भी नहीं बनते हैं काफ़ी सारे miscellaneous topics. So what you have to do is search up paradox and search paradox solving, CAT preparation, and watch the longish video of it. Make notes out of it. उसमें ही they make you to practice a lot of practice questions. Also watch that. Again, do this only after your core topics are very strong, because the amount of time to the amount of output isn't that great for this miscellaneous topics. So this, but you need to cover those topics. From the perspective of ALET तो they are important, but CLAT में they haven't asked many times. But अगर hard आएगा paper तो they would probably ask it. So that is for miscellaneous topics. Now comes the common questions. How much time for preparation? How much time for attempt? So attempt, इधर में I am combining CR plus AR का ही बता रहा हूँ attempt, because sometimes they ask AR, sometimes they don't ask AR. So attempt, if there are 4 passages, आपका वो एट एनी कॉस्ट 24 मिनट्स के अंदर हो जाना चाहिए. इफ़ देर आर 5 और 6, ओनली एंड ओनली देन यू कैन टेक 27 मिनट्स. बिकॉज द रीज़न वाई आई से कि 30 मिनट्स के अंदर ही कर दो इज़ बिकॉज if you keep a target of 24 minutes, you will complete it in 27. If you keep it for 27, you will complete it in 30. The reason why I say CR में कम time though is because you could utilize that time in your quants and get a few more marks over there as well. So attempt में, as I said, 24 to 27 minutes accordingly. And how much time for preparation? CR shall be your second most priority in preparation after legal. Yes, GK shall not be your second most priority. GK would come at third and CR comes at second, because the amount of time you spend to the amount of output you get is just phenomenal in terms of your CR preparation. GK में बस time जाते ही जाएगा and you would not improve. So I would also create a GK video. I will create a GK videos maybe. Okay, let's do this thing based on the top comment suggestion. Next कौन सा subject करना है, we'll do that subject next. So how much time for preparation? So ideally you have to spend 3/7. At least 3 days of those 7 days you have to spend for your CR preparation. And giving mocks does not come under CR preparation. Giving mocks is a test for you. It won't help you improve. Make this thing really clear in your mind. Do not attempt a lot of mocks. I have created a video also. उसमें I have explained why attempting a lot of mocks will be detrimental for you. So if you guys have time, do watch that. So how much time for preparation? As I said, 3 out of 7 days shall be your CR preparation. CR preparation should be mostly on your analyzing, writing strategy. Writing strategy I'll tell you at the end. How to attempt more questions. So a lot of people ऐसे होते हैं 4 passages में बस 3 passage ही कर सकते हैं. They do in the 24 minutes. So the problem here is कि they are either not used to concepts, उनके concepts weak है. So इसीलिए they have to think a lot in order to answer a question. Either reading speed slow है या either comprehension weak है. So these are basically the broader things or the broader reasons why the low attempt wala issue comes. So concepts though you could improve. Reading speed, chalo, I would say reading speed you might not improve that much, but through that radical strategy of mine which I have discussed in the previous videos, you could improve in this as well. A radical strategy, what I say radical strategy is, you read the first para, you read the last para, you skim through the mid, and you answer the questions. Or more often than not, it would work in your favor, and you only do this when you don't have time. Don't keep it as your norm, keep it as your exception. And comprehension. So what one needs to do for the comprehension? A on essays plus what is that? Editorials. Yes, editorials. A on essays. You have to read it. You have to try and dissect it. So उससे what happens is your comprehension, your reading speed, your concepts, everything improves, and on and all your attempts for CR will also improve. If you are like completely stuck in your 3 passages out of 4 passages, do this one time in your mock. Doesn't matter how much accuracy you get, just try to attempt those 4 passages, because once you attempt those 4 passages, that threshold of you attempting 3 passages will break, and most probably something in motion will stay in motion. And how to learn traps, this is arguably the most underrated and the least emphasized topic. Learning traps. If you simply learn the traps examiner sets for you, you could simply eliminate the questions. What traps means trending questions. If you are comparing इस country में suppose country X and Y, in country X this has worked, so in country Y also this should work. This is a clear trap. अगर आपको ये trap पता होगा तो you would simply eliminate in this in your trending questions. So that is what trap is. How do you learn traps? There is an excellent, okay, I'll write it here. Don't I have space? Yes, I have. How to learn traps? There is an excellent video series of Ellie discussing a lot of traps. So just watch that trap series, write it down. Again, some person said कि in the flow of questions they are explaining some weird terminologies. You are not required to know those terminologies. You are just required to know कि वो क्या structure follow कर रहा है. So suppose flaw in reasoning का one of the traps is insufficient data. The author has not provided enough evidence to back his claims. अब there is, आप कितना भी डेटा प्रोवाइड कर लो, द इनफ एविडेंस वुड नॉट कम. अब आपके लिए वो इनफ हो सकता है, मेरे लिए इनफ नहीं हो सकता है. सो दिस इज अ ट्रैप क्वेश्चन इन फ्लो एंड दिस शैल बी स्ट्रेट अप एलिमिनेटेड. So that is how traps work, or whatever they are saying, they give you as a pattern कि suppose there is one trap कि if X has said it, then it must be true. X is a big politician, let's say, big some diplomat, some person, that must be true. So the trap is what we are relying on X words rather than the strength of his claims. So that is the trap here. So you have to just know the structure, or structure को you have to apply the structure in your mocks, and you would be able to eliminate that as well for your traps. And how to work on your weak concepts. अब weak concepts का main issue is you don't identify what are your weak concepts. When I ask people what are your weak concepts, they are just unable to answer it. जैसे assumption भी है, inference भी है, strengthen भी है, weaken भी है. सारे कॉन्सेप्ट आपके वीक नहीं हो सकते. इन सब में से भी देर विल बी वन कॉन्सेप्ट जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा वीकनेस होगा. हाउ टू नो आपके कौन से कॉन्सेप्ट वीक है? इमीडिएटली आफ्टर योर मॉक एनालिसिस just do this 24 questions, classify them as trending का question, weakening question, inference question, and do this. Let's just say there were 10 inference questions, उसमें से आपके 5 करेक्ट गए, और ट्रेंडिंग में 3 में से 2 करेक्ट गए. सो इधर में 50% एक्यूरेसी है, इसमें यू हैव 66% एक्यूरेसी. सो दिस इज़ द मोस्ट वीकन वाला issue for you, and you have to work on this. So that is how you identify your weak concepts first, and then what one needs to do in order to work on that is to research. अगर आपका assumption weak था, अब जैसे even at this stage of preparation, कल मेरे assumption के काफ़ी questions गलत गए. What I did, I simply opened my YouTube, typed in assumption traps और assumption concept. I just watched कि कौन सा concept कैसा चल रहा है वो, what are the traps in those. I solved a few questions, and I feel I'm good to go for that assumption wala thing. So that is how one needs to work. First they need to identify it, then they have to research it, और वो ऐसा framework से they will be able to overcome that weak concepts wala problem, and how to develop that gut feeling, think and write to improve. So this is arguably what I would say is my secret, and the reason why I have put this at the end is because I only want the people who are serious to benefit out of this. So let me just discuss. See, out of those 24 questions, if I would say how much I solve, if just let us assume I am attempting all those 24 questions, उसमें I solve from my brain is only 8 questions. और जो बाकी के 16 questions I solve it on autopilot. So what does this means is, because I've solved so many questions, because I have developed that gut feeling, मेरे को कोई क्वेश्चन के ऑप्शंस पे देख के ही आई वुड अंडरस्टैंड कि ये तो नहीं होगा ऑप्शन, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली ये होगा, बिकॉज आई हैव लर्नड अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रैप्स, आई हैव viewed a lot of traps in the mocks, in my practice sessions, कि आई जस्ट गेट दैट इंट्यूशन ये तो नहीं होगा, ये तो होगा, ये नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा, ये होगा. So out of those 24 questions, around 16 questions come from that only, जहाँ पर मैं simply अपना trap strategy डाल देता हूँ and it gets me the answer. Only 8 questions, or even for that matter less than 8 questions में I have to use my brain energy. I have to evaluate those two options properly, only then I'll get it. But majority this happens for the autopilot mode. How did I developed this is by doing think and write to improve. See, I will show you guys my analysis sessions notes which I have done today. See, this is how I do. English में, or for that matter CR, in weakening question the weaken shall be direct and there shall not be another assumption to be made in order to weaken. Question 9. So what I do, go to the question 9, just see what I have written there, just see the question, or वो that intuition comes under me. What does this particular line means is, suppose you are weakening X, so something that directly attacks X is bad, so that would be a weakener. If I say X has done X has done अब क्या बोलूँ मैं, X has done something, let me think of it. अब let's just say Y is good, Y is better या y is good. अब इधर में y is better और y is, there are two people x and y, and one option says x is bad and one option says y is better than x. So इधर में in order for you to know conclude कि x is bad, you have to assume कि y is better में जो बोल रहा है that implies कि x is bad. So there is another assumption you are making here कि when y is good x will be bad. So there is this condition, when y is good x is bad, तभी ये true होगा. So this is another assumption which you are making in order to come to your conclusion. So ऐसे वाले questions are generally not the options, this is another trap. और आप कोई भी trap वीडियो में देख लो, they would never discuss this because none of them have maybe even come across this thing as a trap. But because I analyze, I think and analyze, I know this trap. So वैसा एक क्वेश्चन है. एंड लीगल में वेन एवर दे डू हार्ड क्वेश्चंस, व्हाट दे डू इज दे ईदर इंक्लूड द टफ टॉपिक्स, और टफ टॉपिक्स को हाउ डू आई ओवरकम, दैट इज़ व्हाट आई हैव रिटन. लीव फॉर द लास्ट और सी जस्ट द क्वेश्चंस. काफ़ी बार क्वेश्चंस देखने से भी यू गेट दैट आंसर्स. टू मेनी डिटेल्स, मोर विजिलेंट ऑन द एंड पार्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन. Too many details होंगे, the answer lies in the end part of the question. So these are my general observances which I make in the logical reasoning, or for that matter any particular subject. So that is the reason I'm able to develop this gut feeling. What I do is I think about a topic a lot. I take a mock, let's just say 19th question I ask myself few questions, why did I get wrong and how can I get it correct, or I try to find a lot of patterns. This only happens if you spend time with it, spend time with the paper, तभी होगा ये, and only then you will improve. So I believe I have covered everything which one needs to do. If you still have any doubts, do let me know in the comments or in the Telegram channel. So I hope you get a lot of benefit out of it, and let me know which thing I shall upload next. Bye.